So Brittany mentioned CLS, or content layout shift, or cumulative layout shift, as a metric. I think she's running a Lighthouse performance tool, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end of the video. And everyone has probably seen this on a website, especially like a news site that's kind of long, and if you're on mobile, it's even worse. The entire layout will just start jumping on you, especially if you're loading an advertisement that kind of loads after the content. That can oftentimes create a shift like what we're seeing. Now, what I've done here, I've just outlined the container around the cards. And by the way, the featured cards is one of the newer widgets from HireLogic. It uses React as the front end kind of framework. Unfortunately, it seems to load after all the rest of the content. So what I'm doing here, I've just outlined it, give it a red background so we can see it. Here's how we can fix it. We have to figure out how tall it is. So it says right there, using my debugger tool, so 380 or 390 pixels tall. So in my CSS, I'm just going to set a min height. So that's going to keep it from jumping around. Now the height of yours, it's going to vary based on the content inside your cards. So you are going to want to measure it. And if you're editing content a lot, adding icons, you can see I'm using an icon. This value, the min height, is going to be different for everyone. And even after editing your content, it may change again. So you see there, I gave it the min height. Now it's locked in place. And guess what? You don't see the rest of the page jump around. We still see a little bit of layout shift. I think it's actually coming from my logo at the top of my site. So we should probably fix that also. It's more prominent if you have like a bigger logo. Probably want to fix that also. But basically, I fixed, I'd say 95% of the layout shift on this page, and I'm only using one set of featured cards. You can run a speed test. This is the Lighthouse speed test you can run from your Chrome browser. And if you've never built a site where the page speed was a requirement, you've probably never even heard of content layout shift. I actually used to do some work for a company where we would check in our code, and then we would screenshot the Lighthouse scores. And if you were not in the 90s across the board, those key metrics, especially performance, your work was not done. So you would go back and it tells you how to optimize everything. It's a very helpful tool. A lot of the stuff that's going to ding your score, you probably don't have control over, unfortunately. But the CLS, the layout shift, you actually can optimize that, and hopefully your score looks a little better than this one.